What's going on, everyone? It's the Print House. So I am back and I'm doing a part 2 on how I make $10,000 per year 3D printing in my own home with a 6 printer farm. Before we start, guys, please, if I could get some likes, subscribes, hit the bell, maybe some comments down below, that would be great. I love seeing all the comments on the last part and on all my other videos. So yeah, guys, any of those likes and subscribes, fantastic. Get the growth up, have better videos, be able to put out more content. So the first thing that I want to get into, and apologies, I'm going to be looking up. The camera's down below. So the first thing that I want to get into is determining how much to sell your product for. So what you're looking at here is a spreadsheet that I've made for Dungeons and Dragons dice. So I've got first wave and spool finisher and second wave, and these were just funny names I came up with. But what you're seeing here basically is the dice name is a particular print. So this D20 is one print. This D8 right here in column B5, it's a second print, or a different print. This D10 in F3, it's a different STL. Where all this is going at is everywhere you see dice name, that is a different print. Now the goal is I'm buying 1,000 gram spools of filament, so I want to get as close to using the entire spool as possible, so I have as little waste as possible. So I made a matrix of prints that I put on one spool of filament in order to maximize the spool. Maximizing a spool of filament in this case is going to save me more money because let's just say, for instance, I used I don't know, if I put 3 D8s on one spool, or I thought I could, then if we say equals sum of all of these, if I thought I could get 3 D8s without actually doing the math, you would see that I have 1,149 grams. I would have run out. I would have got most of the way through a print. It would have failed because there was no filament. And yeah, so anyway, the goal is to not have filament run out. So that's what this matrix is. So on this spool of filament, I do 1 D8 and 1 D20, and it leaves me with 25 grams left. On this other spool, I do a D10, a D8, and another D10, and that gives me 956 grams. And then on this one, I do 2 D6s, leaves me with 12 grams left. These are all estimates, of course. I've found that Cura estimates a little bit high, so in this case, it says 12 remaining. I think it would probably be about 25. So I would leave yourself some wiggle room. You don't want to run out, obviously. On this roll over here, you're seeing a D100, a D100, and a D12. You get the point. And then so you want to estimate if you're doing big prints, you want to estimate this. If you're doing a bunch of small prints, obviously this is a little bit less of a big deal. If you're doing 5 to 30 gram prints, you just load the spool up and you just print until it's done. So now I break all of my costs down to every little penny possible to figure out what I can sell my prints at. So scrolling down here, I just estimate a spool of filament to be 23 bucks. That's for 1,000 gram spool, and that gives you about 2 cents per gram. And I want to break every cost down to as small as it can possibly go. This way I can then multiply out and get a very, very, very precise cost per part, because I don't want to charge so much that no one buys it, but I don't want to charge so little that I don't make money. Now, over here on these rows right here, you're going to see a matrix of which dice it is, and then grams of filament, total print time, the dollar that I want to make per hour of print time, the dollar I want to make for the post-processing time, or sorry, how much I think I wanna, or how many hours I think I'm gonna be post processing one of these dice, because I don't just pull the dice off the printer and ship it out. And then how much money I want to make for myself each hour that I'm post processing, how much I estimate each part to cost in shipping, and how much I estimate each part to cost in packaging. Now, these two lines right here are actually fairly large numbers because these are fairly large items. The smaller the item, the cheaper it is to ship. And the lowest that you're going to be able to ship anything in the continental United States is about $3.25. So there is a minimum, but the maximum, there isn't one. It just doesn't exist. So the bigger your part, the higher it's going to be. Now, and of course, all of these, by the way, guys, if you look up here, everything here is, these are all equations, so I can go ahead and change whatever I want right here, and it's going to affect other things, because I want to be able to dynamically change. It's like this right here, it's a bunch of, this is an equation of this stuff, so I want to be able to change all of this on the fly, and be able to get a very good cost per part. So if I wanted to, so in any case, what you're seeing here is this is just a big matrix of all of my costs and all of my profits boiled down to what I want to make per part. Now, I can then play around with these numbers very easily to what I think is a good price, and then when I find a price that I like, I'll list it at that. So if I think, oh, $40 per hour for post processing is too much, or sorry, $20 per hour for post processing is too much, I can lower that to $10, and then I come down here and I see, oh, my total post processing profit is $20. So I think you get the idea on this. Basically, you want to sum up all of your pluses, all of your minuses, to boil it down here to one number. Now, so I think Dungeons and Dragons players would be willing to purchase some of these parts individually, and I also think some people that have extra cash would be willing to purchase these as a set, as a whole set of 7. So, for that reason, I think all of these prices that you see down here on row 45, columns B through H, these numbers are numbers that I think would be reasonable uh, dollar amounts to sell these parts for by themselves. But if someone wants to purchase the entire spool, the entire set, they should get a discount. So in this case, I've done discounting, so I'll give them a 15% discount if they want to purchase the whole set. And again, all of this is done with equations you can see up here. So if I decide that I want to give them a 25% discount, everything populates differently. So basically, the goal here is to boil everything down to profit. How much profit are you going to make? So my total profit, if I sell the entire set, in this case, is going to be $1,024. Or sorry, my total amount made is going to be $1,024. Now, this is how much money I'm making per spool, because this up here, each one of these little category or little sections is a spool. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spools at a cost of $23, and then basically I take my total profit and I divide it by, so my total profit in L 44 right here, and then I divide it by K28, which is up here to the spools needed in order to produce an entire set of dice. So that's how I have come to these numbers. Basically, what I'm getting at here is whatever you're printing, you need to be able to boil it down to the smallest dollar amount. So like I said over here, boil it down to dollar per gram that you're spending. Boil it down to dollar per hour. Boil it down to every little minute detail. And if you can put this into an Excel spreadsheet and you can play with the numbers up, down, you know, left, right, whatever. Yep, you can play with the numbers, wiggle them around. This way you can kind of get to a number for a sale price that you think is reasonable, what you're okay with, and what you think your buyer will be okay with. So, now that we're done with this, let's go to a different Excel spreadsheet. Now, I have given up on this Excel spreadsheet because I just did this originally to figure out how much money I was making for the first few sales. So, over here on the far left, you'll see what I was selling. And these are different parts, by the way. I'll get into these in a minute. So, what part I was selling, and I like what the filament was, exactly what the filament was, what the print name is, exactly what the print name is, the whole pack. So you get the idea there. And I boiled this down the exact same way as I did the previous one. So, how much does each part cost? Right here, or sorry, each roll cost. So some of my filament rolls are $6. Uh, Obviously, you guys are not going to get filament spools for $6. However, uh, I no longer use those filament spools. I use eSun PLA Plus for almost everything, and I do that because I want to have a very consistent product. I want everyone to know exactly what they're getting. So obviously, my price for eSun PLA Plus is going to be the same. And again, you can see in this next column the size of it, 1,000 grams. Once again, this is all equation based. So up here, I did the cost and divided by the size of the size of the spool, and then how many grams the print is going to cost, and then how much money each part costs me to make. So that's my first. Now, in here, like I said, I was making this spreadsheet originally to track how much money I was making, just to see if it was worth me actually going through with this and continuing to sell. And it was, so I just stopped updating the spreadsheet because it got to the point where I was selling 5 to 15 items a week, and I just did not have the ability to keep up with this. But anyway, so every time I sold something, I listed it here. Every time that I printed something and for some odd reason I could not sell it, I listed it here too because I counted these as losses on my total dollar amount. Same with refunds, whenever that happened, or replacements, whenever that happened, I counted them as losses. So this is the price that I sell items at. Now, I will get to this in a minute, guys. These prices are definitely not what you would expect for 3D printed items. These are functional prints. These are prints that serve a purpose. It's not like you're getting a fidget spinner, for instance, a 3D printed fidget spinner. These actually serve a purpose. So I charged what I thought was good for a purpose. So in this next column, it's how much I charge or how much I paid for poly mailers so I could ship my parts, how many poly mailers I got in the package, and then once again an equation up here to tell you how much each poly mailer costs. This way, I know that every single time I sell an item, it costs me 12.9 cents to ship it. And then for the shipping or packing material. Next column is average shipping costs, and I figured this out down here. So every single time I sold something, I decided to list the state and how much I was charged to ship it there. This way, I could build up a rolling total of an estimated cost to ship, so I could plug that value in up here to get a really good idea of what it was actually going to cost me to ship everything. Uh, then the estimated profit per part takes into account everything, right? Estimated profit per part takes into account estimated shipping, estimated cost of all of my filament, estimated cost of all my packing materials, and then the profit from sales takes into account the actual quantity of items that I've sold. So if you come back over here to this J column, it will tell you how many I sold multiplied by profit per part. That's how you get this. And again, these are all equations. I gotta say that's Excel and equations, they're amazing. So our lost profit, this is going to be from any that's a replacement or an unsellable part. So that's going to be your lost profits. And some of these actually, and I guess I might not have it on here, but so if I'm developing or designing a brand new part that I want to sell people on eBay, then if I have to make 15 prototypes, I already have a column or a row already made. I already had a row made for that. And if I have to make 15 prototypes, all 15 prototypes go on the unsellable category. They're all unsellable. And prototyping is part of the cost of selling. So even that would go on there. But anyway, my profit minus losses is just going to be my total profit column subtracted from the total loss column. And that gets you how much profit I've made. Now, of course, this dollar amount, once again, right here, this is a sum of everything up here. But once again, I stopped updating this a very, very, very long time ago because I realized that I was making money and it was worth my time. So, anyway, on to my eBay listings. So I sell on eBay and Etsy. I sell my functional prints on eBay, and I sell my custom, more art style prints on Etsy. So I'm going to show you my eBay listings. So this eBay listing, one thing you're going to notice is all of the pictures are very high quality, white background. You can have a black background. You need a solid background. The one of the most important things is selling your product, or one of the most important things to selling the product is the picture, what they see. So what your customer is going to see at first is going to catch their eye. So a nice solid background with a high quality picture, nothing taking focus away from your product. That's what they want. So I gave every angle of this product, and then I took some pictures of the product in actual use, and then I added the CAD design render, and then I added a CAD uh, sketch of it basically. Now in this sketch, I chose not to include dimensions because I don't want someone to not purchase it from me and then go redesign it and then print it themselves, because I don't sell my STL file designs. I just sell physical products. I included these last two pictures on here for the sake of professionalism. I think having the most professional listing possible is going to get you the most sales. Uh, and then if you scroll down here, you guys can go ahead and read this if you want. But I think a very nice, high quality description is also going to sell your part. If you are listing that you use biodegradable PLA and you print at 50 millimeters per second or 150 millimeters, no one cares about that, right? When someone's coming to your eBay listing, they do not care what your print settings are. The fact of the matter is, most people don't actually know that 3D printing has real life uses. Okay, most people are going to be surprised if they get a 3D printed part in the mail. And to that note, you need to specify that you have a 3D printed part in some way. So down here, I talk about most prints will be near perfect. However, minor defects should be assumed acceptable. Defects that prevent functionality of the product will be culled. So you need to, in some way, alert your buyer that you're having a 3D printed part be sold, especially if it's a functional print like this is. Now I'm going to quickly go through some of these other listings I have. So this listing never got totally finished. I had issues with this, and so I just kind of left it as is. Now, the bottom ones are my 3D printed ones, and the top ones are the ones from the manufacturer. I put them together this way. My buyers could see them as essentially the same. Once again, I have a nice description of the product. So we're going to go to the next one, and you'll see most of my listings are almost the exact same. So I have high quality pictures of the product with nothing in the background. I have pictures of the product in use, and then I have a CAD render, and then a CAD sketch. And then on here, this is the exact same, right? And then at the end, I have a sketch. But one thing to note is that the backgrounds are clean. It's the product I'm selling is the main focus. And once again, clean background, lots of angles. They really know what they're buying. Multiple pictures of it in use, CAD, render, and then a sketch. And this is repetitive. You guys see this in all my listings. Sketch, picture of it in use. Now I will admit, this picture in use could definitely be a little bit better. There's a reason why this is a dirty picture, but you get the point. And then one more listing. So in this case, I have chosen to sell a combo pack at a discount. So in this case, like these dice over here, how I was selling them as a set and giving a 15% discount. I don't exactly remember what discount I applied on this, but I think it was maybe a 10 or a 15% discount. And in this case, I took everything in the combo pack and I put it on one background that was clean. I didn't just reuse pictures. I put it all together. You know, if you don't put effort into making a listing custom, it's not going to sell. But then I put the best picture from everything that I had in use, and I took pictures of everything individually as well. And I added them all in here. And so you guys already saw this stuff. The only thing that I left out was the CAD render and the CAD sketches because I could only have so many pictures per listing, and those were the least important of them. Those provide professionalism, but they don't provide anything helpful. And then, here we go with a 15% discount. So this description is really bad. I will also admit that. But this description didn't need to be very great. I expect people to come to this after they've already seen the other listings and then purchase this one. So that's all I had on that aspect. So I'm going to go get my phone ready and we're going to walk around the print studio and I'm going to basically give you a tour of that and give you a little more information on that. Get this up and running. So as you guys have already seen in the past, and I apologize, this is quite a mess. So this is where I work, right? So I do all of my rendering over here and all of my modeling over here. This is the workhorse. All of my printing gets done on these printers. I print solely with Creality printers. People tell you Creality printers are not good for print farms. I can tell you right now, if you take care of your printer and you're doing low to medium volume sales, Creality printer is going to be perfectly fine. I've done it now for almost a year and it has worked perfectly well for me. I started to sell so much that I had to come up with an organization method, and I know it doesn't look very organized in here right now. Every time I clean it, it gets dirty within a week. So that's my organization. My printers are over here. So what happened was I was originally trying to print on one Ender 6, and what happened, I was getting a listing sell, and then I was printing it, and I could not keep up, right? I would have 5 listings,
and I would always be selling one of those 5 listings at least once or twice a week. So that means I'm selling 10 things and I can only keep up. I don't know what I'm going to sell on what day. So I'm having to print 2 parts of each, but what if I sell 5? You know, you can't keep up with demand. So I ultimately had to buy 2 more printers, and then I was fortunately given the other Ender 6. And, you know, this, I'm going to be honest, I've never actually used my CR-30, right? I want to use it, but it's so complicated, and getting a part to stick to the bed is just too difficult, and these ones are making me money. So I have to focus on these ones. I want to get to this, but it's just going to take time. That's not the point of this video, so I don't want to get focused on it. But, so I ultimately had to expand, and the reason I decided to expand my printers was because it was stressing me out not being able to keep up with demand with one printer. And I figured, I'm making money. I know that I'm going to continue to get sales, so let me purchase 2 more printers. So that's what I did. I purchased 2 more printers, and I was given another one. Then the problem came up that I had too much inventory, right? Because I'm always printing one part here, always printing a different part here, so forth and so forth, that I needed inventory storage. So here you're gonna see I've got some tape. This has normally got more tape in it, but all of these, this also normally has packing material in it. Packing material there, packing material there. This was empty, so I store my alcohol in it for my resin printer. This has a bunch of prototype prints in it that I just felt bad getting rid of. These, I believe, this has cold parts in it that I'll use for myself or give to friends and family. Now, pardon my special packing material. I'll get to the packing material in a minute. Whenever I get little bags, I always save these. So, up here is where the big inventory comes. So, see if I can get this light on. So I've got lots of inventory, and I just print and print and print, and right now I'm not printing because my inventory is pretty good right now, but I just print like crazy until I just have too much, and then I do the same over here. I just print like crazy until I have too much, and likewise over here. I mean, I've got tons of them. It's you guys understand. I've got boxes up here that don't need to be up here, but you get the idea, okay? So, boxes actually, I apologize, do need to be up there. So, inventory storage needed to happen, so it happened, and I like everything to be neat and orderly. Everything is wide over here. Everything is wide over here. I knew what I wanted in terms of space, so I found a bookshelf. But the only way that I could buy it was if these were wood, just wood look. So I had to paint these, and I had to buy all of these cubes separately. This is a bookshelf. It's not meant for the cubes. So I had to go through and I had to figure out the width of the cubes and figure out the spacing between these components to make it all fit, to make sure it fit. So there was a lot of looking involved, a lot of research involved, and I know this is going to sound very silly, but this organization setup took a very long time to find something that would fit as much space as I had and needed, as well as fit the wall, as well as look the way I wanted to. This was quite a bit of effort. I think the last thing that I have in terms of shipping is, in terms of information I think might be helpful to you guys, is the shipping. So all of my packing material is reused. So all of my bubbles right? Whenever I get an Amazon package, I save what was inside of it. Or any package. If I buy from eBay, it doesn't matter. I save what was inside of it, right? And so I save probably 50 cents to $1 on every single package that I sell. And if I sell, I don't know, 15 packages a week or 15 items a week, then I'm saving anywhere from $7 to $15 a week. And I know it sounds silly, but the problem is, it's not like you're buying packaging per item, right? You have to buy packaging in bulk. You can't just buy what you need in the moment. So that means I'm having to spend an extra $50 to $100 just to buy extra packaging. So if I've already got it, I may as well save it. And I have these cubes here, but I have probably 25 times the amount in my garage. Whenever these run dry, I go to the garage and I bring some more in here. So I reuse as much packaging as I can. Which brings me to these bags, right? These are little bags. Whenever I sell one of these, I put it in a bag and then I tape the bag shut, right? Anything you can do to make your customer feel like they got a more professional experience. And the most I had to do was save some bags from a purchase that I made. Right, these bags are very plain. They say choking hazard. Very plain bags. Do whatever you can to give your customer a better experience. Next thing is this. So in here, I have instructions for everything that I print. Or for everything everything I print and sell. So depending on what the user buys, I give them a set of instructions with it, right? Some of them are more helpful than others because some of them don't really require that many instructions, but it's all organized in a folder. This way I can very quickly get it for them, for the package. See, like this, step 1, step 2, step 3, whatever it is. So give them instructions in the package, even if it is simply printed on standard paper. Another thing is sticker paper. So you can see that these are sheets of paper that are cut in half, and it's stickers. So on eBay, when you go to print the shipping label, there's a setting you can change which will print it on one half of the paper, not on the entire piece of paper. And so you buy these half sheets of sticker paper, print it on one half, slap it on your package, and you're good to go. I thought it was a waste of money because I could use regular paper and I could just tape it on. But after I did the cost analysis for the cost of packing tape versus the cost of sticker paper, I realized sticker paper costs anywhere from 1 to 3 cents more per package. It just costs less, or it just doesn't matter how little it costs. It's such a little detail, and it saves you at least 2 minutes or 3 minutes per package. And trust me, if it's 7 in the morning and you have to go to your 9 to 5 job, you do not want to spend an extra 5 to 10 minutes fighting with a package. Even, like, trust me, if you package something incorrectly and you spend 5 minutes because it's a big order, right? And you have to redo it and you have to retape it up, you're gonna hate yourself. Get the sticker paper and just reprint the sticker, rip it off and put it on your package. Much better. These are the poly mailers. So I have 2 different sizes. These have absolutely no padding in them. It is just to conceal whatever's inside and allow your customer to have a little bit of security in that no one knows what they're purchasing. Of course, I'm not selling anything really that they should be concerned about, but give them some security. If you're selling a high dollar item, you know, it's good to give them that little bit of security. And then the big ones are because sometimes I ship large items. So we're talking about reusing packaging material. So when I sell one of those combo packs that you guys saw, I use these eSun filament boxes. They fit everything perfectly. I put all the items in here. I put some packing material in here. I close the box up. I tape the box up. This way the box lid doesn't fly open. I stick the box in the bag. I close the lid of the bag. And I slap a label on there. And I'm good to go. The whole process takes about 2 minutes. But anyway, guys, so let me come back over here. Well, I think I've covered everything. This was a long video. I had a request to make an updated video because I didn't explain very much in the last one, and I apologize. If there's anything else that you guys want to know, maybe that I left off, please leave them in the comments below. Once again, guys, give me a like and a subscribe, ring the bell. Everything you guys have been doing for me is great, you know? I love seeing the view count go up. I love seeing the comments. Let me know what you want to see. I will definitely do it, guys. And I'm going to bring you more content, I promise. So stick around. I'll see you on the next one.